From Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio, it is game number 26 as your Xenia Scouts, your first place Xenia Scouts at that, return to Grady's Field as they head into a late season pennant race, taking on the second place Hamilton Joes. Andrew Alix here alongside my guest color commentator on the day, who is becoming more of a consistent presence up here in the booth, Scouts lefty Noah Jones. You'll hear from Noah in just a minute. The Scouts have taken 12 of their last 14 contests, including last night's win at the Cincinnati Steam, where 4 solo home runs off the bat of Colt Wolf, Adrian Marquez, John Sharp, and Chandler Atkins propelled the Scouts to another win over Cincinnati and furthering their lead in the Northern Division of the Great Lakes League to a game and a half. Tonight they take on the Joes, and they send Walter Rook to the mound for his first start of the year. Walter, just finishing up his freshman year at Northeast Mississippi Community College, has worked a number of great performances in relief for the Scouts. Defensively for the Scouts, it's Don Ring catching, Colt Wolf at first. John Sharp is playing second, Kerry Holloway at short, Chandler Atkins at third. In left, it's Adrian Marquez, Ryan O'Hearn is in center, and Jeremy Barth is in right field. The batting order for the Hamilton Joes, the designated hitter Ben Spitznagel is batting first. Jackson Boyce is batting second and playing second. Batting third and playing center field, Kyle Moore. In the cleanup hole, the first baseman, Bryson Shelton. Dane Toughlin is playing third and batting fifth. Batting sixth and playing in the sixth hole is Tyler Friss. Batting seventh and playing right is going to be Tyler Thaman. Blake Hart is catching and batting eighth. And Sam Teague closes things out. He is batting ninth. But now Spitznagel to the plate. Ben Spitznagel from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, is going to lead things off for the Scouts here, or for the Joes here against Walter Rook. Spitznagel is the leading hitter in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. He bats at a .442 mark with 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 11 RBIs. Here's the first pitch of the game. And Rook delivers low and inside, ball 1. Walter looks to the catcher, Don Ring. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one finds the zone. A called strike evens up things. 1 ball, 1 strike here. The Joes come into the game at 15-9 on the season. They're in second place in the Northern Division of the Great Lakes League, or the Southern Division of the Great Lakes League. 1 game behind, or a game and a half behind the Xenia Scouts, and that ball is fouled down the first base line, so Rook's ahead in this count, a ball and 2 strikes. Spitznagel steps out. He bats from the left side against the righty, Walter Rook. Rook, here's the 1-2 pitch. And swung on and missed. Strike 3. He got him. So Walter Rook gets the feeding hitter in the Great Lakes League to start things off. A hot start for the big, lanky righty from Memphis, Tennessee. And now with 1 down, the batter's going to be Jackson Boyce. Boyce from IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University in Indianapolis. That's a Division I school. He's playing second. He bats .394. First pitch, foul tip right back into the box. 0-1 goes the count. .394 hitter is Jackson Boyce. He has 5 doubles, a pair of triples, and 27 RBIs on the season.
Rook has been really successful so far in the amount of innings that he's seen on the mound. But this being his first start today, we're going to see how he fares opening a game and then hopefully going deep into games.
And the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed there, so Rook ahead in this count, 0-2. With 1 down here in the top of the first. Rook looks to Don Ring. He sets, delivers. And that one is grounded right back at the mound. It hits off of Rook's glove, but an athletic play, bare-handing it off the tip of his glove, throws over to first in time for out number 2. So Walter Rook, a hot start here. 2 away, and now it's going to be Kyle Moore to the plate. Moore from Indiana State University. He's the center fielder. He hits .327 on the year. That's with 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. 14 RBIs to show for it. He's batting from the right side against the righty Rook. First pitch coming here. And that one, foul tip. Right back towards the plate, 0-1.
Brooks also facing an offense today that fresh off of a shutout loss last night. Unfortunately, it was a really tight game where both pitchers seemed to have dominated, but coming out in bottom of the eighth scoring and losing that game 1-0.
And the 0-1 pitches lined past the glove of the shortstop, Kerry Holloway, into left field. So Kyle Moore is aboard with a base hit. And now tonight, boss, on the no-hitter for Walter Rook. And 1 on with 2 down here, it's going to be the cleanup hitter, Bryson Shelton. Shelton, a .307 hitter on the year with 8 doubles, 4 triples, a home run, and 30 RBIs. He hails from Trevecca Nazarene University. Steps in, batting from the left side. Kyle Moore takes his lead at first. First pitch on the inside. Don Ring gets back to it quickly. The runner goes. The throw on to second is going to be in time. America runs on Duncan, but nobody runs on Don Ring. That is out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and nobody left aboard for the Joes in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first. Still scoreless. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the first. The pitcher out on the mound for the Hamilton Joes is Darian Smith. Darian, the 6'5" righty from Okeana, Ohio. He hails from Muskingum College. Weighing in at 215 pounds, just finishing up his freshman year. He has a 2-1 record on the year with a 3.50 ERA over 18 innings pitched. He has struck out 7 and walked 12. But in to lead things off for the Scouts is John Sharp. John had a day yesterday with a couple singles and a home run. And first pitch to Sharp swung on and missed. Sharp from Lipscomb University heading to Cleveland State Junior College in the fall. Awaits the 0-1 pitch. And John, a slow roller down the line, but they're going to say it was a foul ball. So he falls behind 0-2 in this count. Sharp, since returning from the disabled list, is 4 for 10. On the year, he's a .350 hitter with a double, a triple, and a home run. 6 RBIs. Had a triple against this Hamilton Joes squad in the first matchup that we played against him. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's taken up and away. Is going to move the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes here.
John Sharp, as it seems, the entire top of the lineup has been really hot as of late.
And Sharp fouling that one there, so he stays alive in this count at 1-2. It's Sharp, Atkins, and Barth due up here in the top of the first. So Smith, here's the 1-2. John taking low and in. Evens the count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smith in his last outing against the Galleon Graders. He went 7 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit, but that was against the Galleon Graders. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and breaking ball way upstairs. The count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. The Scouts and the Joes still scoreless. Smith, the 3-2 pitch. And that one is taken high, ball 4. So after falling behind in the count 0-2, John Sharp showing off some great plate discipline there. Taking the pitches he needed to take, fouling a couple balls off, and he's aboard with a leadoff walk. And just so key for the Scouts to get these leadoff guys aboard in these innings.
Really good work out of the leadoff hitter to draw over a 7-pitch at bat there. And then obviously getting on base, being the leadoff man aboard.
So now Chandler Atkins to the plate. First pitch on the outside. Part of the zone, a called strike, 0-1 here. 1 on and nobody out. Atkins, a .333 hitter on the year. That's with 4 doubles, 3 triples, a couple of home runs. One of those coming yesterday at 19 RBIs. And he grounds that one. Slow roller towards second. The throw on to first is going to be in time. So Atkins advancing John Sharp over to second on the slow roller. So 1 down and a runner in scoring position for these Scouts. And it's going to be Jeremy Barth to the plate. Barth, the big right fielder who over these past couple of days has showed off his talent both at the plate and out in right field, making a couple of fantastic plays. And the man is just, quite frankly, a hitting machine. And he's a guy that has played in literally every game in right field for these Scouts. Him and Ryan O'Hearn yet to take a day off. So he awaits the first pitch. Curveball comes inside, ball 1. Righty-lefty matchup here. Advantage to the hitter, Jeremy Barth. Here's the pitch. And he fouls that one straight back into the screen. It's going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You mentioned the workhorses in the outfield there. These outfielders know coming in that they are going to see a lot of innings. Probably not as many as they thought, as we expected to have a 4th outfielder, but good news for the Scouts. Sean Kennedy took batting practice again today, so hopefully he could be coming back soon and be able to give some of these guys a little bit of rest.
And Sean, a guy who you've probably, if you're not from here, only heard by name or on a broadcast, but he's a guy who hit very, very well this past year in junior college, like absurdly well, like he hit like .412 or something like that. I'd have to get the official numbers in front of me, but he's a guy that's going to provide a lot for the Scouts, both on the base pass and at the plate, and obviously give some much-needed rest to our 3 workhorses out there in the outfield. But the count 1-2 to Barth here with 1 down, the 1-2 pitch coming, and Jeremy taking on the inside is going to even the count up 2-2. Barth, .326 on the year. He's second in the league in doubles with 10, a home run and 18 RBIs as well. Smith, here's the 2-2 pitch. And Jeremy waves and misses at that one. Strike number 3, out number 2. So Darian Smith retires the 2 RBI leaders for the Scouts with a man on, but now it's a guy who is hit better than just about anyone not named Chandler Atkins over the past 7 days, and that's Evan McDonald. Evan, he's your designated hitter tonight. Over the past 7 games, Evan has batted .370. Here's the first pitch to Evan, and he lifts that one into deep left field. Going back is the left fielder, and that's going to drop. Coming in to score is John Sharp. Evan McDonald slides into second safely. An RBI double off the bat of Evan McDonald has the Scouts on the board. Nobody no-hits the Scouts. And Evan McDonald just continues to produce with runners on. So that's his 9th double on the season. He's among the league leaders, and he's a guy who, after struggling early in the season, has really come into his own as one of the most consistent and top hitters in this Scouts lineup. So now it's Evan at second and 2 down, and now Colt Wolf's going to come to the plate with the Scouts having a 1-0 lead. First pitch to Wolf is taken high, ball 1.
Yeah, it seems that Evan, every time he comes up, just seems to have 1 guy, 2 guys in scoring position consistently, and has been very consistently late, been able to drive those guys in.
The 1-0 pitch finds the zone, a called strike, and even things up 1-1. Colt Wolf from Calvin College, he hit a solo home run yesterday. That was his second on the year. He's a .289 hitter with 7 doubles, a triples, and 2 bombs, 12 RBIs to show for it. McDonald takes his lead at second. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the zone, a called strike 2. Wolf playing first base. He'll kind of rotate between first base and that designated hitter role. Rotating at first base with Caleb Bloy, usually, and the days off are kind of put between Bloy and Don Ring recently. 1-2 pitch taken on the outside. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, but 2 down here in the bottom of the first. The Scouts leading 1-0. Evan McDonald takes his lead at second. The pitcher Smith looks to the catcher Hart. He has what he wants, the pitch. And that one taken on the inside. The count's going to go full. Wolf showing great plate discipline there.
A lot of pitches already being thrown here by the Joe's pitcher in the first inning, including the first at bat to John, and now another full count here.
And the 3-2 pitch is in there for a called strike. Inside part of the zone, very close, but that is out number 3. But 1 run on 1 hit, and 1 man left aboard. We have played 1, and the Scouts lead 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go to the second inning. Andrew Alix and Noah Jones here at Grady's Field. The Scouts leading 1-0. And for his second inning of work, the batter is Bryson Shelton, and he fouls a hard line drive out of play on the third base side. 0-1 the count. Shelton, he came to the plate in the last inning, but saw, I think, 1 or 2 pitches before Don Ring threw out Kyle Moore trying to steal for out number 3. So the 0-1 pitch taken on the outside part of the plate, evens up the count, 1-1. Like we said, Shelton, a .307 hitter on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one, a high fly ball, but not deep. Coming under it, the center fielder Ryan O'Hearn makes the grab for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down, and now it's going to be Indiana State's Dane Toffland to the plate. One of 3 Indiana State, not Hoosiers, but Sycamores, the Indiana State Sycamores, home of, and probably most famous for being the college that Larry Bird played his college basketball. Larry Bird, the Hick from French Lick, Indiana. First pitch, and that one is hit up sky high. Shallow part of the infield. John Sharp comes over from second, makes the grab. Out number 2. So quickly, Walter Rook with 2 fly ball outs, and this has kind of been really and truly the opposite of what the last inning was for Darian Smith, who had to throw a lot of pitches, and Rook with 2 down now is going to face Tyler Friss. Friss hitting .500 on the year. That's 10 hits for 20 at-bats. And he lays down a bunt, but it's a pop-up bunt. Walter Rook takes a few steps to his left and makes the grab for out number 3. 5 pitches, 3 outs for Walter Rook in the top of the second. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Joes. The Scouts leading 1-0 in the middle of 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the second inning. It's Andrew Alix and Scouts lefty Noah Jones up here in the booth. The Scouts leading 1-0 here as we go into the bottom of the second. Leading things off for the Scouts is going to be Adrian Marquez. Marquez, the left fielder, he hit a solo home run yesterday that tied the game up at 3, a very key home run, but he awaits the first pitch here from Darian Smith. And that one's taken on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Marquez, 254 on the year. 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. But he fouls that one right back into the box. So Queso quickly behind in this one, 0-2. Marquez from Wright State University. That's the Wright State Raiders of the Horizon League, located just around the corner here, under 20 minutes away from Grady's Field here in Xenia. He awaits the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. And swung on and missed strike 3, the third strikeout of the day by Hamilton pitcher Darian Smith. And now 1 away for the Scouts here in the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to be Don Ring to the plate. Ring, the catcher from Hillsdale College. Got the day off yesterday. Ring is a .211 hitter on the year, and he's struggled of late, trying to break himself out of a little bit of a slump. Here's the first pitch from Smith. Ring takes that one right over the plate, a called strike 1. Don hit the first ever pitch he saw as a Hillsdale Charger, a grand slam home run. And the 0-1 pitch bouncing in front of the plate gets past the catcher Hart. It's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike. And we've already seen Don do some great things today with getting the runner stealing in the top of the first to end that inning. He awaits the 1-1 pitch. And Don grounds that one a chopper over towards first. Good play by the first baseman, Bryson Shelton, to pick it up and step on first for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Scouts in the home half of the second. So with 2 down and a 1-0 lead, it's going to bring up the 8-hitter Kerry Holloway. Kerry is your shortstop this evening. He's hitting .274 on the year with a couple of doubles and 5 RBIs. Kerry, after playing every day over at second during the John Sharp injury, had the opportunity for a day off yesterday, and he takes a first pitch in the dirt, ball number 1. Holloway from Andrew College, the native of the state of Georgia. 1-0 here. And Kerry grounds that one over towards short. The shortstop throws it, ball in the dirt, scooped up by the first baseman Shelton in time for out number 3. So the Scouts go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. We have played 2 and the Scouts lead 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the third we go. It's Andrew, Alix, and Cha, bro, up here in the booth. And Walter Rook's out for his third inning of work. The Scouts leading 1-0 here. First pitch from Rook. That one's taken low and away. Ball number 1. The batter, Tyler Thaman. Tyler Thaman from Miami University of Ohio at Hamilton. So not the alumni of Paul Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, and a number of others that I like to name every single day. The count 2-0 now to Thaman. Thaman's a .263 hitter on the year. A double, a triple, and 9 RBIs. And swung on and missed on the 2-0 pitch. Rook with what looked to be a nice change up there.
Yeah, Rook really looking to try to establish that off speed early in the game, so that way he could use his full arsenal.
2-1 pitch fouled out of play on the first base side, so Rook evens up the count. 2-2 here. With nobody out in the top of the third, the Scouts with a 1-0 lead. That run coming off of an Evan McDonald RBI double that brought home John Sharp back in the bottom of the first. The 2-2 pitch from Rook, and that one fouled right back towards the Hamilton dugout. The on-deck circle batter, Blake Hart, having to kind of dance out of the way there. I don't think he was in any real danger, but stay on your toes, Blake. So 2-2 again after the foul ball. Rook, he delivers. And that one hit sky high into right field towards the line. Jeremy Barth running into foul territory, diving, but not making the catch. But like I said, in foul territory, so we're going to do 2-2 again. Jeremy Barth with an effort play as always. But Thaman's staying alive here in this count. Walter Rook just finishing up his freshman year at Northeast Mississippi Community College. He looks to head to Union University. That's the Division II school in Tennessee. Hopefully this upcoming fall. But Rook, here's the 2-2 pitch again. And that one swung on and missed. Strike 3. Rook got him swinging. That's his second strikeout of the day and the first out here in the third. And now it's going to be the 8-hitter, Blake Hart. Blake the catcher. He hits at a .333 mark. 4 doubles, 8 RBIs on the year. And he bats from the left side here against the righty Rook. First pitch from Walter. That one looks like a slider.
That probably was a slider, possibly a curveball there.
Slider, breaking ball of some sort. Finds the zone for a called strike. Nothing in 1 the count, the pitch, and that one grounded a foul ball just to the right of the first base bag. But Rook ahead in this count, nothing in 2. Rook's numbers on the season coming into today, 19 innings pitched over 8 games, allowing 7 earned runs, striking out 13, walking 6. He has a 2-0 record with a save, a 3.31 ERA. The 0-2 pitch is in there for a called strike 3. He got him. So Walter Rook striking out the first 2 batters here in the top of the third. That's his third strikeout of the day. And now it's going to be the 9-hitter, Sam Teague. Teague, the left fielder. He's hitting .250 on the year. Once again, batting from the left side. First pitch from Rook, and he lays down a bunt down the third base line. Rook sliding over. He's going to throw over to first, but not in time. A bunt single, a very well-placed bunt, a slow roller down the third base line. And the third baseman, Atkins, was playing not in at all, and Teague took advantage of the opportunity. So that's just the second hit of the day for the Hamilton Joes, and they have a man on and 2 out here. And back to the top of the order with the leading hitter in the league, Ben Spitznagel. Spitznagel from UNC Greensboro, .442 on the year. He's the designated hitter this evening. His first time up, he went down swinging. First pitch from Rook. That one low and in, ball 1. Spitznagel, he bats from the left side. Teague takes his lead at first, and pickoff move from Rook sends him back.
Really just a well-placed bunt there. Even if Chandler had been playing in far enough.
Yeah, I mean, that was about all you can ask for.
Rook made about as athletic a play on that as possible.
1-0 is grounded into the glove of a diving Chandler Atkins at third. Throw over to first is going to be in time for out number 3. Chandler Atkins impressing with the glove there, and no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for the Joes in the top of the third. We head into the bottom of the third. The Scouts lead by a score of 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the third inning. It's the Scouts 1, the Hamilton Joes nothing here. Andrew Alix and Scouts lefty Noah Jones up here in the booth, and we're having a good time as the Scouts have the lead, and Ryan O'Hearn is to the plate. Ryan, better known as the league leader in walks, and he takes on the inside ball 1. Ryan, the .402 on base percentage on the year. And for those of you that are champions of Billy Bean style baseball, Ryan is an asset to your team on all marks. And also that speed that he has on the base path, very good as well. Ryan takes in the dirt ball too, so he's ahead in this count 2-0. O'Hearn from Hillsdale College, a .220 hitter on the year. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ryan takes that one over the plate, a called strike. The Scouts went down 1-2-3 against Darian Smith here in the last inning. And Ryan takes that pitch, a grounder over towards first. Shelton picks it up, steps on first, out number 1. So a 3 unassisted in your books, and with 1 away, it's back to the top of the order with John Sharp. John, his first time up, he walked, came around to score on the Evan McDonald RBI double, and that was just good baseball what the Scouts played in the first. It was getting the leadoff man on with the walk. Atkins out in the second spot. The first out of the inning, still a productive out that got Sharp over and, gave Evan McDonald the opportunity to do what he does best, and that's drive in runners at second with the games tied. So Sharp's going to bat with 1 out here, first pitch, and John fouls that one back over the screen.
Yeah, Chandler's out ended up becoming a pretty big play as the runner might not have scored from first on that double. It was a kind of a close play even at second there. So a guy having to go the extra 90 feet might not have been able to go.
0-1 pitch, and John takes that one on the outside, evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Sharp, a .350 hitter on the season. The native of Knoxville, Tennessee, awaits the 1-1 pitch, a big curveball that misses upstairs. Moves the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. You're in the bottom of the third with 1 out. It's the Scouts 1, the Joes nothing. Smith, the 2-1 pitch. John takes fastball outside part of the plate. It's going to even the count up of 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Here's the 2-2. And Sharp just getting a piece of that one, fouls it back into the screen, staying alive.
Sharp once again just working the count, 2 strikes and fouling balls off, really making the pitch count rise, something that the Scouts didn't do in the second inning as well as they did in the first, and it makes a huge difference later in games, the guy only going 5-6 innings rather than 7 to 8.
The 2-2. Up and away, ball 3, so John Sharp, like you said, works the count, his second full count and as many at-bats. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Sharp lifts that one high in the air. Over towards short. The shortstop, Fritz, comes under it, makes the grab for out number 2. So 2 away now here in the bottom of the third for the Scouts, and that's going to bring up Chandler Atkins, the guy who we just talked about, his first at-bat. A 4-3 ground out that advanced John Sharp over to second. Atkins, the third baseman from Lipscomb, a .333 hitter on the year, the team leading 19 RBIs. First pitch to him. And that one taken on the outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, and Chandler, good contact, but right over towards second. The second baseman, Boyce, throws on over to first in time for out number 3. So no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard in the bottom of the third. We have played 3, and the Scouts lead 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the 4th inning of work. It's the Scouts 1. The Hamilton Joes nothing here, and Walter Rook, after 3 scoreless innings, going to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Hamilton lineup. First up on that list is Jackson Boyce, the second baseman from IUPUI. First pitch from Rook. That one's fouled on the third base side, going to go out of play. Boyce, his first time up, grounded out. Well, didn't ground out, but hit a comebacker right at the pitcher, Rook, which bounced off his glove, but he just picked it up and threw over to first in time, and that was the second out of the game. 0-1 the count here. Rook, he delivers. And that one right back to Rook again, who picks it up, underhand toss in time. Number 1, so Walter Rook takes the ground out from Jackson Boyce for the second consecutive time, and now with 1 away, Kyle Moore is going to come to the plate. Moore from Indiana State University, his first time up, he singled, eventually caught out stealing. On a great throw by the Scouts catcher, Don Ring.
A couple of really athletic plays from the Scouts already. A couple from Rook himself, and then obviously throwing out the runner was Ring with a pretty athletic play there too.
First pitch on the outside. Chandler Atkins playing in at third. Ryan O'Hearn shaded towards left out there in center. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one fouled back. It's going to even up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. It's the Scouts 1, the Joes nothing. Rook has already struck out 3 Joes, including 2 in the 3rd inning. He's allowed just 2 hits. The 1-1 pitch here. And check swing, did he go? The appeal to the field umpire says yes, he did. So the count moves in Rook's favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Against Moore, who's a .327 hitter on the year. 1 for 1 on the day. The 1-2 pitch. And that one is drilled into foul territory on the left field side. Rook, who, a very hard hit ball there, but he can exhale as the count's just going to stay 1-2.
Seemed to be an off-speed pitch up, possibly a changeup that just didn't get down in the zone. Fortunate enough, it had just enough off of it for him to yank it foul.
So we're going to do 1 and 2 again. Walter, he delivers. And that one, a grounder over towards short. Kerry Holloway, who's playing back, picks it up, throws on over to first in time to get the speedy Kyle Moore. And that was a very close play, and Holloway fielding that ball very deep in the 6th hole, having to make a long throw over to first, but showing off the arm there for out number 2. Now it's going to be Bryson Shelton to the plate. Shelton, his first time up, flew out to center field. First pitch from Walter. Upstairs, ball 1.
Really good defensive alignment there from Coach Cubes, who is usually in charge of the infielders, really pushing Kerry Holloway over to that hole.
1-0 grounder, slowly over towards first. Colt Wolf feels the ground ball, steps on first for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Walter Rook. That's no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard in the top of the 4th. We are in the middle of the 4th. The Scouts leading the Hamilton Joes 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Andrew Alix and Noah Jones here at Grady's Field. The Scouts leading 1-0. It's going to be Darian Smith out for his 4th inning of work. And it's going to be Jeremy Barth to lead things off for the Scouts offense. Here, the first pitch to Barth. Breaking ball upstairs, ball 1. Barth from Biola University. He struck out his first time up. A .326 hitter on the season. The 1-0 pitch, and Jeremy rips that one foul third base line into the rolling hills of Xenia. It's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike. Barth from the great city of Los Angeles, California, awaits the 1-1 pitch, and he takes that one on the inside. Barth, who Adrian Peraza claims to have struck out in a collegiate meeting between Biola and Bethesda. We got to check the stats on that one, but he awaits the 2-1 here. And Barth taking a breaking ball upstairs. He finds himself ahead in this count, 3-1.
Yeah, they have a little rivalry going in the dugout as they play each other a couple times a year. And Peraza claims that he struck him out once and he went 0 for 2 against him, but Barth says that he went 2 for 4 in the game, so
a little bit, someone's got to be right and someone's got to be wrong in the argument between Dad and Slug, as they are known in the Xenia Scout social circle. But Jeremy fouling the 3-1 pitch down the first base line, so the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Smith, he delivers. And that one finds the zone, a called strike 3. So that is strikeout number 4 on the day for Darian Smith. And one away here for the Scouts in the bottom of the 4th, and that's going to bring Evan McDonald to the plate. McDonald, his first time up, an RBI double that brought home the lone run that has been scored by either side in this ballgame. First pitch to Evan. Breaking ball taken in there for a called strike one. McDonald, catcher from Fairleigh Dickinson University. He awaits the 0-1, and that one got inside on him. A slow roller over towards the shortstop. Friss picks it up and rockets it over to first. Out number 2. Mark it as a 6-3 in your books. And 2 up, 2 down for the Scouts hitters here in the bottom of the 4th, with them leading by a score of 1-0. And Colt Wolf's going to come to the plate. Wolf, his first time up, he went down looking after working the count all the way to 3-2. First pitch to Colt. And Colt pops that one up. Foul back over the screen. The count goes 0-1. The 0-1 coming here. And swing and a miss there. So Colt falling behind in this count. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The Scouts with a 1-0 lead. He awaits the 0-2 pitch here. And Wolf takes slider on the outside. Count moves 1-2. Wolf, a .289 hitter on the year. A solo home run yesterday. 1-2 pitch, and that's a chopper, high chopper over the pitcher's mound. The pitcher, Smith, an athletic play over his head. Underhand toss to first for out number 3. So no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We have played 4, and the Scouts lead 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the 5th inning we go. It's Andrew Alix here and Noah Jones at Grady's Field in a game is leading by 1-0. Ha ha ha. I mess up words. But 1-0 Scouts here. Walter Rook out for his 5th inning of work. He's facing off against Dane Tofflin, and he gets Tofflin to miss at a low and away pitch. 0-1 the count. Tofflin, his first time up, took the first pitch that he saw. An infield pop-up over to John Sharp at second base. 0-1 the count here. Rook, he delivers. And that one, a chopper over towards short. Kerry Holloway coming in on it. Picks it up, throws on over to first. Not in time. The infield hit there for Dane Toffland. The 3rd hit of the day for the Hamilton Joes. And now the Joes with the leadoff man aboard and, threatening to equalize this game. And the Scouts, who in games that they have lost, which recently has not been many, but it has been heavily reliant on their pitchers in a number of contests. And Rook, a guy who's making his first start of the season, you're going to want to give him a little bit of wiggle room here. And first pitch, though, to Tyler Friss in there for a called strike. Friss, he tried to lay down a bunt his first time up and didn't really work as Walter Rook took it out of the air for a flyout. So 0-1, nobody out here, runner on first. Rook, he delivers. That one, slider in the dirt. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Frisk from Indiana State. Indiana State, the school of one of our athletic trainers and current scoreboard operator, Lexi. She goes there. 1-1. And that one fouled right back off of Tyler's ankle, and he does not look comfortable here. And, you know, that happens. We saw that happen to Chandler Atkins earlier in the season on a tough situation. So the count 1-2. Don Ring taking Tyler Frisk's limping time to go out and have a word with his battery mate, Walter Rook. Rook ahead in this count, 1-2. Rook has allowed 3 hits on the day, striking out 3 through 4 innings pitched. 4 scoreless frames for the freshman from Northeast Mississippi Community College. And now he's ahead in this count, 1-2. Rook looks to the catcher Ring, but then a little pickoff attempt over to first to send Dane Tofflin back that way.
Rook has been very effective so far with his pitch count. Very, very low compared to the other pitcher, it seems like, at least.
And that pitch is lined over towards short. Kerry Holloway sliding, tries to get in front of it, gets his glove on it, but not into the glove, and another infield hit there. So now it's runners at first and second, and nobody out. And for the first time, Walter Rook finds himself in a little bit of a jam here in the top of the 5th, and he's going to have to face off against Tyler Thaman. Don Ring goes out to the mound to have yet another word with his battery mate. Thaman, his first time up, he went down swinging to Rook. That was Rook's second strikeout of the game.
Rook's saving grace today has already been that he's been able to produce a lot of ground balls or a lot of infield fly balls. He's hoping here to get another ground ball, get a double play, and possibly get out of this without any more run, or without any runs scored.
First pitch in there for a called strike. Thaman from Miami University at Hamilton. Remember, this is the Hamilton Joes, so he didn't have to travel far. Thaman, a 263. Hit around the year with 9 RBIs, and he bats with runners at first and second and nobody out. Swing and a miss on the 0-1. Walter going with breaking ball again there.
Seemed to be possibly a slider away.
Yeah, slider away. It's hard to tell sometimes from our angle, but regardless of what he used to get there, Rook is ahead 0-2 in this count, trying to get that big first out to take a lot of pressure off of himself. Rook looks back to second. Looks back to second again. Now he looks at the catcher Ring. The throw looks like just got a piece of it, did Tyler Thaman, and the count stays 0-2. Thaman getting about a minimal of a piece as you can get on an inside fastball from Rook, and the count's going to stay 0-2 here. It's Tofflin at second, Tyler Frisk at first. The 0-2 pitch, and that one is lifted high in the air towards left field. Adrian Marquez is tracking back. He's at the track, makes the catch. He's going to throw over to third, and that throw is going to be not in time to get the 2 tagging runners to advance into scoring position. So now it's runners at second and third and 1 out. And the batter is going to be Blake Hart, the catcher.
Possibly having a shot there if that throws on line. Marquez with a very, very good arm in the outfield. Just offline, it seemed like gave Chandler no chance to be able to get the out.
So 2 in scoring position and 1 out here. Blake Hart, his first time up, he went down looking. Rook. He delivers. And that one grounded in foul territory over towards first. The count 0-1 here. Walter trying to pitch his 5th scoreless inning, but finds himself in the most precarious situation he has found himself all day, and hasn't even really allowed that hard hit of a ball yet. Just 2 infield singles put 2 on, and then the runners advancing on a fly ball. That pitch is lifted over to the glove of Kerry Holloway, diving from short. The runner's heading home. The throw home is going to be held there by Ryan O'Hearn. So an RBI single off the bat of Blake Hart evens this game up at 1 run apiece. And that's just tough. Kerry Holloway trying to make a jumping catch over at short in the 6 hole or over towards second base. And you think there when he jumped that if he makes the catch and steps on second, that's a double play that's going to get the Scouts out of this inning unscathed. But it just gets over his glove, and the runner, Tofflin, comes home from third. The runner at second does not advance. So it's 1-1 here with 1 out and runners at first and second. The batter is Sam Teague. Teague, he singled his first time up, and first pitch from Rook on the inside, ball 1.
That ball over Holloway's glove showing just how much of a game of inches baseball really is.
Really and truly, as they say in the Scouts press box. 1-0 the count. The pitch. Rook missing seemingly low there, kind of at the knees. So he's behind in this count, 2-0. Teague, the left fielder, 1 for 1 on the day. He's the 9-hitter, so it's back to the top of the order after this. A big out to make for Walter Rook. And that pitch up and away, so 3 pitches, 3 balls, and Walter Rook needs to battle his way back into this count. Holloway giving him the sign, and John Sharp had a perfect pickoff situation there. But Rook didn't see him. And Sharp kind of just gives the disappointed look and heads back over to the 4 hole. 3-0 the count here. Rook, he delivers. And that one finds the zone, a called strike 1. So the count moves 3-1 here on Teague.
Yeah, definitely not the guy that you would like to walk here, especially with runners on first and second already and 1 out. You're 1 pitch away from a double play, but if you put a runner on third, then they can score without getting hit with a sac fly.
3-1. Grounder over towards first. Colt Wolf is going to tag the runner. The runner's at first and second, advancing to second and third. So mark that as a 3 unassisted, what looked like it had the potential to maybe be a 3-6-3 double play. Just too slow of a roller, and Wolf right to take the out rather than the risk there, rather than the possibility of having the bases loaded with still just 1 out. But now it's 2 in scoring position for the leadoff hitter and top hitter in the league, Ben Spitznagel. Spitznagel, however, 0 for 2 on the day. A .442 hitter. 11 RBIs on the season. A strikeout and a ground out so far. First pitch from Rook, and Spitznagel drilling that one into left field. Tracking back is the left fielder Adrian Marquez. Under it, makes the grab for out number 3. So 1 run on 3 hits, and 2 men left aboard for the Joes in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, all tied up at 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes all tied up at 1 here at Grady's Field in Xenia. Andrew, Alix, and Noah Jones here to take you live to all the action as the Joes starter Darian Smith out to pitch his 5th inning of work, and Adrian Marquez to lead things off for the Scouts. The first pitch to Adrian. That one's taken low and inside. Marquez, his first time up, he went down swinging. Adrian, the left fielder, who, with the home run yesterday, and you have to think about his biggest play of the year, however, being the triple against Irish Hills that extended that game. He later scored on a passed ball, but the Scouts were trailing 2-1 at that point in the game, and he single-handedly extended the game and helped them keep their winning streak going. Marquez bunts a foul ball down the third base line, so the count's going to move 2-1 to Queso. Queso, who's hitting .254 on the year with a trio of doubles and a trio of triples, or a trio of doubles and a trio of home runs, and a single triple, 8 RBIs. Marquez, who has power to the right field side. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and Adrian fouls that one back towards the Hamilton Joe dugout's going to even up the count, 2-2 here. In the bottom of the 5th inning, a tie game between the Scouts and the Joes. Remember, a big game in the standings, and we're going to get you the out-of-town scoreboard in just a minute. But here's the 2-2 pitch to Marquez, and Adrian lines that one over towards first, but the first baseman Shelton makes a backhanded grab on the foul line side, and he's going to take it himself, step on the bag, out number 1. The out-of-town scoreboard. Got only interdivision matchups here today for the Southern Division of the Great Lakes League. The Steam and the Richmond Jazz are in the top of the 4th, and the Steam leading by a score of 4-2. The Settlers and the Copperheads are all locked up at 0. But now it's Don Ring to the plate, and Ring taking on the outside, ball 1. Ring, his first time up, grounded out to the first baseman. Don from Hillsdale College. That one comes up and in, so Ring ahead in this count, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. And Ring takes downstairs. 3-0 the count goes now, with 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Smith tries to get me across on 3-0. And that one finds the zone, a called strike. So Don finds himself in a hitter's count now. 3 balls, 1 strike with 1 out. The pitch. And Ring, a sharply hit ball over towards Short. The shortstop, Friss, backhands it and then kind of backhands it up into his bare hand, like it tipped off the side of his glove into his bare hand, and he throws it on over to first in time for out number 2, and that's just an unfortunate situation for Ring, and a very athletic, coordinated combination by the shortstop, Tyler Friss, but 2 away now, and the Scouts have been held hitless since there was 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st. Now Kerry Holloway is going to come to the plate. He takes a first pitch strike. Holloway grounded out to short his first time up.
The Scouts in these low-scoring contests seem to be almost a tale of 2 teams.
Holloway hits that one in very shallow center field. The shortstop, Tyler Friss, comes under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard again for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 5th. We have played 5, and we are all tied up at 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the 6th inning of play here at Grady's Field. It's the Scouts and the Hamilton Joes all tied up at 1. And I just dropped my phone, hope it didn't crack, and it did not. So a good day if you're Andrew Alix. The top of the 6th begins, and it's the number 2 hitter for the Hamilton Joes. That's Jackson Boyce. Boyce is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts back to the pitcher, Walter Rook. Boyce from IUIPI. And he fouls the first ball off, so 0-1 the count. Rook allowed his first run of the game back in the top of the 5th inning. And Walter delivers on the inside there. A slider's going to even up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boyce batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Rook. Relatively open stance. And that ball is grounded foul on the first base side. It's going to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Looked like a breaking ball down and in, maybe a slider down and in. It's a very effective pitch as he just barely fouls it off there.
So Rook ahead in the count here against the .394 hitting Jackson Boyce. The 1-2 pitch. And that one bouncing in the dirt. It's going to even up the count 2-2. So now Rook looks to Don Ring, and he delivers the 2-2 pitch. And that one is fouled off on the third base side this time. So Jackson Boyce staying alive there. No one going in the Scouts bullpen right now, as Rook has been relatively effective with this pitch count through the first 5. 2-2 again. And that one grounded over to Kerry Holloway at short. The throw on over to first is going to be in time. A good scoop there by Colt Wolf to get that one. And good, well-timed throw there by Kerry over at short, because a very close play over at first, but out number 1 nonetheless. And with 1 down, that's going to bring Kyle Moore to the plate. Moore, 1 for 2 on the day. A single back in the first, and then he grounded out over to short. His second time up. Rook, the first pitch to Moore. That one slider taken on the outside, ball 1. Moore from Indiana State University, competing in the Missouri Valley Conference. That's with teams such as Evansville, Indiana State, among others. Swung on and missed, strike 1, so that evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes all tied up at 1 in a game that is going to mean a lot for the standings here. And we'll give you the standings as they are. The Scouts are in first. Their record is 17-8. They are a game and a half ahead of the second-place Hamilton Joes. The Joes, obviously the team we're playing right now, and then we'll see them again tomorrow. In third place, the Cincinnati Steam are 2.5 games behind. In fourth place, the Licking County Settlers are 3 games behind. And in fifth place, the Southern Ohio Copperheads are 4.5 games behind. Now, with about 15 games left to play, the top 5 teams in the division all still very much in it. And that pitch is drilled into deep center field. Chasing back is Ryan O'Hearn. He's at the track and makes the grab at the track on the run. Ryan O'Hearn showing off his wheels in center field yet again. That is out number 2, and that's probably the hardest hit ball we've seen off Rook all day. But when you have speed and experience in the outfield, it can work wonders for you sometimes. And O'Hearn making a play, and now Rook batting with 2 down here, and the batter's going to be Bryson Shelton. Shelton's 0 for 2 on the day, a fly out and a ground out. First pitch from Walter is taken upstairs, ball 1. Shelton from Trevecca Nazarene, not to be confused with Mount Vernon Nazarene. That's the school of Jacob Chrysler and Trenton Wood, the 2 relievers that took us to the promised land last night. Foul tip on the 1-0 pitch, back into the box, going to even the count up, a ball and a strike here. Shelton, a .307 hitter, 30 RBIs on the year. That's with 8 doubles, 4 triples, and a home run. And I would bet you that is probably tops in the league. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Slider, taken low and in. It's going to move the count to 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and that is correct. Bryson Shelton is leading the Great Lakes League in RBIs. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that one lined right back up the middle. Walter Rook having to get down quickly to avoid getting nailed by that pitch. That ball sails into center field. And a single with 2 down here off the bat of Bryson Shelton. Has a man on him with 2 outs. And the batter is going to be Dane Toffland. Toffland, he singled his last time up. That was in the 5th. Ended up coming around to score the only run of the day that Walter Rook has allowed. Toffland 1 for 2 on the day. He flew out over to second his first time up. First pitch from Rook. That one finds the zone, a called strike 1.
The key for Rook going deep into this game is going to be huge for the Scouts is they've had, and then last night having to go 7 out of their bullpen. Their bullpen is very worn down, and a deep outing by Walter Rook could be huge for the next 5 days for the Scouts as they still continually have a very, very busy schedule the next few days.
Absolutely. And this win is going to be earned on both sides. 2 very, very good teams facing off here. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Rook delivers low and away. He's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike here with 2 down. The batter is the 5-hitter Dane Toffland. Tyler Friss is on deck. Both guys have already gotten a hit off Rook so far today. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And slider taken on the outside. The count moves 2-1. Still no one going in the bullpen for the Scouts. Hard to see past the screen on the Hamilton side, so it looks like a little bit of action going on in the Hamilton bullpen. Will be interesting to see if we see their starting pitcher next time around, but that ball is grounded over to short. Kerry Holloway, underhand toss to John Sharp covering second, steps on the bag, gets the force, out number 3. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We have gotten to the middle of the 6th. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes all tied up at 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the 6th we go. It's Andrew, Alix, and Noah Jones here at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts and the Hamilton Joes all tied up at 1. The starting pitcher, Darian Smith, back out to pitch his 6th inning of work, and he has been extremely effective, essentially no hitting the Scouts other than Evan McDonald's 1 hit, an RBI double back in the 1st that plated the only Scout run of the game, but they have been shut down since then. The 1-0 pitch, and that one fastball on the outside gets past the glove of the catcher Hart, and Ryan's ahead in this count 2-0. Ryan O'Hearn, the batter, the league leader in base on balls. And Ryan waves and misses. moves the count to 2-1. And the Scouts have literally, since Evan McDonald's RBI double, have been perfect gamed, if that's not a real term, but they have gone down in order since then, as O'Hearn takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate, evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes here. With nobody out in the bottom of the 6th, the tie ball game. 2-2 pitch. Ryan takes low and in. The count's going to go full. You got to wonder where the pitch count is for this starting pitcher, Darian Smith, and what comes out of the bullpen after this 3-2 pitch. Ryan rips that one down the line in right field. Ryan rounds first. He's heading for second. The right fielder throws into second, diving or sliding into second with a double is Ryan O'Hearn. The Scouts with their first hit in quite a bit, an extra base hit off the bat of flying Ryan O'Hearn, who turned the wheels on there, and now a runner in scoring position and nobody out. And off the air just a second ago, me and Noah were talking about the recipe for getting the Scouts back into this game, and I said you got to get O'Hearn on somehow to lead off this inning, whether it be a walk, a single, or an error, and I think he did just that and more.
Not only getting himself on, but getting himself in scoring position with nobody out. Now you could have just a bunt and a sac fly, two outs, and not even another hit recorded, and it's already a 2-1 game possibly.
So now back to the top of the order with John Sharp. Ryan O'Hearn's over at second, and first pitch to Sharp over the head of the catcher, Blake Hart. Ryan O'Hearn takes advantage of the opportunity and, like we said, turns the wheels on, flying Ryan O'Hearn over to third on the pat, or I guess it's going to be a wild pitch. But so, yeah, now all you need is a sac fly here. With nobody out, you have 3 opportunities to bring him home. And the Scouts can take the lead here yet again. The count 0-1 to John Sharp, who looks like he's got a head of steam on over at the plate. And that pitch is fouled back over the screen. It's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike.
This is definitely the place, the lineup you want to be in with a runner on third. You got the 2 hottest hitters as of late right here at the plate between John Sharp and Chandler Atkins.
The 1-1 pitch. Sharp fouling that one. First base side out of play. The count moves a ball and 2 strikes here. O'Hearn is at third. With nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. A tie ball game. The Scouts trying to reclaim the lead. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Up and away. Evens the count 2-2. Good take there by John Sharp. The pitcher Smith trying to get him to chase on the outside. Here's 2-2. And Sharp lifts that one into shallow right field, and it's going to drop. Ryan O'Hearn heading home, and he's going to come in standing. An RBI single off the bat of John Sharp brings home Ryan O'Hearn, and the Scouts take a 2-1 lead. And that was basically the recipe that we drew up. But the Scouts making it look as easy as they've ever made it look.
Walter Rook being the first guy out of the dugout to really pick up Ryan for that. A really huge thing for him is his first start. He's been pitching well, just not much offense behind him, and be able to take the lead again here in the 6th inning.
So now it's John Sharp at first with nobody out, and his Knoxville buddy Chandler Atkins to the plate. Atkins takes first pitch upstairs, ball 1. Atkins on the day, 0 for 2, a couple ground outs over to second. A very important ground out over to second back in the first, though. That pitch taken upstairs yet again. So Atkins ahead in this count, 2-0. Chandler, a .333 hitter on the year, 19 RBIs. Two and 0 the count. And Atkins lifts that one into deep right field. Going back is the right fielder, and he's going to catch it in foul territory right at the track. John Sharp trying to go over to second, and he's going to get caught trying to tag up in advance. So an F9 to 6 double play, and now 2 outs here in the inning. And nobody on, so that didn't go as well as it could have, as I kind of thought that might have been a home run off the bat. unfortunately hanging in the air a little too long. That's a home run at Cincinnati Steam.
That's very well done. The Steam Spark.
First pitch to Jeremy Barth, and he tries to hunt there, Barth-esque, but pulls back and then dancing up and down. The count 1-0. Here with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. The score 2-1. The pitch, and that one on the outside, and the pitcher Smith seemingly starting to lose a little bit of his command that he had, so very effectively.
Barth trying to lay down the bunt as the shift seems to be on, and the third baseman pulled way off the line, so even a halfway decent bunt can pick up an easy base hit here. And Barth notices that, tries to take advantage of it, but pitch nowhere near the zone. So
yeah, so 2-0 pitch taken on the outside now. Barth ahead in this count 3-0. And Darian Smith throws the get me across fastball on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. Still very much a hitter's count for Barth with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The 3-1 pitch, and Barth swinging and missing there. Jeremy has struck out twice at the hands of the Hamilton starting pitcher Smith. Trying to get the best of him the 3rd time around. The 3-2 pitch, and Jeremy takes low and in ball 4. So a 2-out walk for the Scouts is going to bring Evan McDonald to the plate. McDonald, the creator of the first run the Scouts scored in this ball game. That was back in the 1st, an RBI double off the bat of the oh-so-clutch Evan McDonald. And he has the opportunity to keep this inning going here with 1 on and 2 out. McDonald, he bats from the right side. First pitch. Evan taking on the inside there, ball 1. Over the last 7 games, Evan hitting at a .370 mark. His most impressive stretch of the season thus far. He awaits the 1-0 pitch. The runner Barth goes, throw on over to second is going to be in time. They got him. So Jeremy Barth caught stealing to end things for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 6th. But 1 run on 2 hits and nobody left aboard for Xenia. We have played 6th. The Scouts lead the Hamilton Joes by a score of 2-1. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the 7th. Walter Rook out to pitch his 7th inning of work. First pitch, fastball on the outside part of the plate, a called strike. The Scouts leading 2-1 here as we go into the 7th, and the batter is Tyler Friss. Friss from Indiana State. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And that one, a slow roller over towards second. John Sharp picks it up, throws on over to first. In time for out number 1. So 1 away here in the 7th, and that's going to bring up Tyler Thaman. Thaman, the right fielder from Miami University of Ohio at Hamilton. He's 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a flyout. Thaman, a .263 hitter on the season. He bats from the right side against the righty Walter Rook. First pitch, slider in the zone, a called strike.
Walter Rook really establishing that the breaking stuff all throughout the game today.
0-1. And that one lifted into center field. Ryan O'Hearn chasing towards right, makes the grab on the run. Ryan O'Hearn showing off the wheels yet again as he tracked what seemed to be a mile into right center field, basically calling off Jeremy Barth in right. Barth would have had to run less to get to that ball, but Ryan O'Hearn turning the wheels on there makes the grab for out number 2.
That's twice today that he's done something like that, going back to the track and then there as well. 2 really outstanding athletic plays by Ryan out there.
And for a guy that doesn't get days off, those legs probably sore as anything, but the 1-0 pitch here taken upstairs. So Rook falling behind in the count to Blake Hart. Hart, the catcher, 1 for 2 on the day. An RBI single from Hart. Scored the only run that Hamilton has all day, but 2-0 pitch finds the outside part of the zone. Is going to move the count 2-1 here with 2 down. Hart, a .333 hitter on the season. 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. And Rook attacking the outside part of the plate yet again, so he evens up the count 2-2. Hart did go down looking his first time up. Rook, he delivers. And that one, curveball fouled right back into the screen. We're going to do 2-2 again. So Walter, 2-2 pitch, here it comes. And that one is lifted into shallow right field. Jeremy Barth diving, makes the grab for out number 3. Jeremy Barth, da-da-da. This is SportsCenter, the diving grab in right field to save a single off the bat of Blake Hart. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. In the top of the 7th, we go into the bottom of the 7th. It's the Scouts 2, the Hamilton Joes 1. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is a thriller. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Welcome back, folks. Andrew, Alix, and Noah Jones. Here at Grady's Field in Xenia, the Scouts lead the Hamilton Joes by a score of 2-1. And the improbable continues with Jeremy Barth making an extremely athletic play out and right to save a hit there and possibly even extra bases if that ball had gotten behind him. But the Scouts leading 2-1 here, and a new pitcher into the game for the Joes here in the bottom of the 7th. It's Cameron Ross. Ross from the University of Cincinnati. Right-handed pitching, and first pitch swung on and missed there by the batter, Evan McDonald. Ross, a 1.92 ERA on the season. He's pitched 9 1/3, striking out 6, walking 10, allowing 10 hits over that period of time. 0-1, and Evans swinging and missing again. Ross faced the Scouts earlier this season. That was on June 13th in a 9-2 Scouts win. Ross faced 4 batters, walking 3 of them, making just 1 out. And McDonald gets a piece of the 0-2 pitch. Ross, a University of Cincinnati guy, the second University of Cincinnati Bearcat right-handed pitcher that the Scouts have seen in as many days. Yesterday's starter, Tristan Hammonds of the Cincinnati Steam, was a Cincinnati Bearcat, but Evan swinging and missing at that pitch. So Cameron Ross starts things off with a strikeout of one of the top hitters on the Xenia Ball Club, and it's going to bring Colt Wolf to the plate. Wolf, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Went down looking his first time up, a ground out over towards first, his second time up. Wolf from Calvin College in the state of Michigan. He awaits the first pitch here. And Colt, big undercut swing as per usual. 0-1 goes the count. Colt awaits the 0-1, and he takes that one on the outside. Wolf with the Calvin Knights this past year hit .364 with 12 home runs and 34 runs scored. And Colt grounds that one sharply over towards third. Backhanded by the third baseman Tofflin. Throws on over to first, off the mark. Gets past the glove of the first baseman Bryson Shelton. So Colt Wolf is aboard on the error. But we can assume will be marked as the error.
Yes.
And that it will. So 1 on and 1 out for Adrian Marquez. Marquez, a .254 hitter, 0 for 2 on the day. And hopefully Queso can flash some power here. And if the Scouts could put even just one more run on the board, that would be good news for the starting pitcher Walter Rook, who looks to possibly even go more, as nobody going in the Xenia bullpen right now.
Already a very impressive outing for Rook, as it's just his first start of the season going this deep into a game.
The 1-0 pitch finds the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Evens things up 1-1 here. With 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. That pitch is popped up in the air. It looks like actually we are getting some action in the Xenia bullpen. It looks like a slug, I see, but you don't know whether slug's going to be the bullpen catcher or the pitcher that's warming up. So deets to come.
I would guess that Peraza would be pitching, as the Xenia Scouts bullpen has been worn down. But
1-2, and that one's grounded sharply over towards short. The shortstop Tris throws on over to first in time for out number 2, and you gotta wonder why Tris didn't go to second there to get the lead runner. That would have seemed to make a lot more sense. I mean, the double play ball probably off in that situation, but Wolf advances there. So Marquez with a productive ground out there, and now with 2 down, Don Ring with the opportunity to break out of his slump here and drive in a run. We've seen him do it before in a clutch situation. He was the hero in both of the games in Athens, Ohio over the Copperheads. First pitch, low and on the outside to Ring.
Yeah, that play really baffling, is instead of taking the out at second, keeping runners out of scoring position, now a single scores a run. And there seemed to be definitely time to be able to get that out at second.
1 ball, no strikes. Then Ring taking on the outside yet again. So the Donalds ahead in this count 2-0 with 2 down and a runner at second. Here in the bottom of the 7th, a 2-1 Xenia Scout lead. Ring. And he pops that one foul out of play. It's going to move the count to 2-1. Don, a guy who at school this past year at Hillsdale, a very successful freshman campaign. 3 home runs, driving in 18 runs, and he takes low and in. It's going to move the count to 3-1. Very much a hitter's count here for Don Ring. Ring with 4 doubles on the year. The 3-1 pitch, and Donald drives that one into deep right center field. That's going to drop at the track. Colt Wolf rounding third and heading home. Don Ring is in at second, standing an RBI double off the bat of the Donald Ring. And what a way to bust a slump. The Scouts with a 3-1 lead here.
Donald really getting absolutely most. It must have been at least most of that ball, if not all of it. Really crushing that ball into the gap, one of the biggest parts of the field. And no way possible for the center fielder or the right fielder to even get remotely close on that one.
So Don Ring, the RBI double. And now it's still a runner at second and 2 outs for Kerry Holloway. 3-1, the Scouts lead now. The pitch. First pitch comes on the inside. The count 1-0 to Kerry. Kerry's 0 for 2 on the day. A fly out and a ground out. He's a .274 hitter on the year with a pair of doubles and 5 RBIs. The 1-0. And Kerry swinging and missing there. Evens up the count 1-1. Ring takes his lead at second. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here. In the bottom of the 7th, the 1-1 pitch. And Kerry takes on the outside. The count moves 2-1. Two 1 pitch. And that one finds the inside part of the zone, and the count moves 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. A runner at second for Kerry Holloway. The Scouts trying to extend their 3-1 lead. 3-2 pitch, and that one is, or that was a 2-2 pitch, excuse me. So now the count is 3-2. I don't know how to read a scoreboard or remember things from half a second before.
Just foreshadowing a little bit.
But now the count is full, hopefully. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count full to the shortstop, Kerry Holloway. From Andrew College, Don Ring's at second. The pitch. And Holloway fouls that one. A rocket to the backstop on the first base side. We're going to do 3-2 all over again. And Holloway has driven in runs in some very key insurance run moments. What comes to mind is the Scouts with a 1-run lead against Southern Ohio. And time called there. Holloway not liking how long that was taking. And we look through the bottom of the 5th in Cincinnati. And the Jazz and the Steam all tied up at 4. The pitch. And Holloway, a blooper. But that one's going to be foul. So working the pitch count, I guess, is one way to say it. And the umpire, the home plate umpire, calling for some new baseballs. Holloway's bat standing there like the Eiffel Tower over at home plate. Holloway using a green lightsaber style bat. Very reminiscent of Yoda, the one that Yoda would use in the Star Wars movies. So Holloway with a very elongated at bat here. And a guy who has really come into his own later in the season after kind of starting off struggling. He was hitting in the high, 180 range for a while, but he has really worked his way up and is now hitting .274, but he awaits the 3-2 pitch, and Kerry pops that one up in foul ground. The first baseman and the catcher coming under the first big grab for out number 3. But 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We have played 7, and the Scouts lead by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is an exciting one. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the top of the 8th inning. The Scouts leading 3-1 now after an RBI double from Don Ring, extending the lead, and Walter Rook after his 8th inning of work. First pitch from Rook is taken into right center field, but not deep. O'Hearn under it makes the grab, and Walter Rook has now pitched the longest outing of the year for the Xenia Scouts, topping one Noah Jones. That's 7 1/3. Single tear shed for the destruction of an individual accomplishment, but out number one for the entire team effort. and now it's back to the top of the order with Ben Spitznagel. Spitznagel 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch from Rook. That one's taken low and in. Ball number one. And you'd think that at this point, if he can get one more out, or even not one more out, it would probably set up bringing Matt Wade in to close this game. But Rook missing low and away that time, so the count goes 2-0. Rook has very impressive performance thus far in his first start as a Xenia Scout. The 2-0 pitch, fastball right down the pipe, taken in there for a called strike. Rook retiring Ben Spitznagel, the leading hitter in the league 3 times, striking him out once. He's trying to get him one more. And Rook delivers the 2-1 pitch. High and outside. It's going to move the count to 3-1. Here with one out in the top of the 8th inning, the Scouts leading by a score of 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Rook, and that one grounded over towards first base. Colt Wolf takes it himself, steps on the bag, out number 2. So Ben Spitznagel, the man who has torn up the Great Lakes League, cannot seem to hit Walter Rook the 4th. An 0 for 4 day for Spitznagel, and now with 2 down here in the top of the 8th, it's going to be Jackson Boyce to the plate. Boyce, 3 ground outs on the day, and he fouls the first pitch off. 0-1 the count. Boyce, another just extremely impressive hitter. And the man who is second in the league in RBIs with 27, only behind his teammate Bryson Shelton. And he check swing, grounder right back towards Rook, who's going to pick it up on the run, take it himself, step on first for out number 3. So Rook has gone 8 innings, and he looks as good in the 8th as he did in the 1st. That's no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Joes in the top of the 8th, and we are in the middle of the 8th. The Scouts leading by a score of 3-1. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Andrew, Alix, and Noah Jones here at Grady's Field in Xenia. The Scouts leading the second place Hamilton Joes by a score of 3-1. And the Scouts hoping that this will be their last trip to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th. But Ryan O'Hearn in to lead things off. And Ryan, he doubled his last time up. And that double being oh so important as he advanced to third on a passed ball, and then an RBI single from John Sharp gave the Scouts the lead there. But Ryan bunts one foul on the first pitch. So 0-1 the count. The new pitcher in for the Hamilton, the lefty Max Lee. And Lee has not appeared in a game yet, so we don't know much about him other than he's a lefty from Miami University at Hamilton. He delivers in the dirt on the outside. The count 1-1 here. And Lee coming inside again, missing a low and in. The count moves 2-1 in the favor of Ryan O'Hearn. Center fielder shifted over towards right. The pitch and broken bat. Grenade style broken bat with just completely broken bat. About as broken. Do you see that, Noah? It like split literally in half down the center of the bat. So Ryan's going to head back and get a new one, but the count 2-2 now on the speedy O'Hearn.
Completely hit that ball off the very end of the bat almost. As the force went straight down the center of it to split it, and having half the bat go down the first base line, the ball go down the third base line, and the rest of it in his hand.
So Ryan, he heads back to the plate. It's O'Hearn, Sharp, and Atkins due up here in the 8th. A very lethal part of this Xenia order. 2-2 the count. O'Hearn, he steps back in. Lee, he delivers. And Ryan, check swing. Did he go? They say he did. So Ryan O'Hearn goes down swinging on a pitch that he didn't look like he wanted to swing at, but that's out number 1. And now back to the top of the order with John Sharp coming to the plate. Sharp is 1 for 2 on the day. An RBI single his last time up. Also walked and came around to score. So John Sharp being as productive as ever, driving in a run and scoring one. He awaits the first pitch here from Lee. And John grounds that over towards short. The shortstop, Friss, picks it up. He's going to throw on over to first in time for out number 2. So 1 pitch, 1 out with John Sharp. And now 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. And that's going to bring Chandler Atkins to the plate. Atkins is 0 for 3 on the day. A very uncharacteristic day for Atkins, who is leading the league in batting average over the past 7 days. Not including today's contest. Atkins, he bats from the right side now. He's a switch hitting guy. And first pitch strike on the outside. His last time up, he drove a ball into deep right. And Atkins chops that one over towards third. It's going to stay fair. The third baseman throws on over to first in time for out number 3. So the Scouts go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th, but they lead by a score of 3-1. The Scouts going to come in and try to slam the door, and it looks like it's going to be Walter Rook going for the complete game here. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Walter Rook trying to finish what he started. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the 9th inning, Walter Rook, the starting pitcher, trying to go the distance in this game. His Scouts leading 3-1, and he's going to face off against the 3-4-5 hitters in the Hamilton lineup. First pitch, swung on and missed. The batter, Kyle Moore. Moore is 1 for 3 on the day. A .327 hitter, the center fielder from Indiana State. 0-1, Rook delivers. And that one grounded foul on the third base line, so Rook ahead in the count, 0-2 here. No Scout has gone farther than Rook has already gone in this game. He has pitched 8 innings and out for his 9th. Oh-2 pitch from Rook, and he plunked him. Rook coming on the inside. And are they saying that got a piece of the bat? And there looks like they're going to say, they're going to confer. I mean, I think the pitch hit Kyle Moore. But the home plate umpire saying it was tipped off the bat. They're going to confer, and we'll see what the umpire says here. And he points to the arm, and then he points to first base. So after an initial clear miscall there by the umpire behind the plate, Kyle Moore heads over to first, and Rook's going to want that one back. A hit by pitch when he was ahead in the count, 0-2. And now Bryson Shelton, the league's leading RBI man, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He's hitting .307, 8 doubles, 4 triples, and a home run. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Rook. First pitch, Rook comes on the inside. The tying run. He's at the plate here. With nobody out in the top of the 9th. Rook, he delivers, and he comes on the inside again. So, Rook falling behind in the count, 2-0 to Shelton.
A lot of faith shown by Bella Cates here with Walter Rook. Is the game could be tied up in just one swing of the bat with a certain pitch, but
and foul tip there, back toward Hamilton dugout. The count moves 2-1, but like you said, and anyone going in the bullpen looks like Matthew Wade, the closer for this club, in case Rook gets himself into anything that Bubba Cates thinks he can't handle. 1 on and no outs, top of the 9th. The 2-1 pitch is not going to happen as Rook turns and throws over to Colt Wolf at first. Keep the base runner Kyle Moore honest.
Still only 1 or 2 hard hit balls all day off of Walter Rook, so maybe that could be affecting the judgment. Maybe saying, well, they haven't really hit him hard at all today. So.
And that one is lined right into the glove of Colt Wolf, who steps on first. An F3U double play. That's probably not how you write it in the book, but that's how I'm going to write it in the book. He got Kyle Moore leaning off the bag and just a rocket over to first, and just like that, Walter Rook is 1 out away. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Walter Rook trying to put this one in the history books. The batter is Dane Toftland. First pitch, rounder over towards third. Coming in is Chandler Atkins. He throws to first in the dirt, not in time. So Dane Toftland is aboard. And we thought that could have been it.
Really a bang-bang play over. First could have gone either way, and might have beaten it by about half a step, if that. But as sure as it is, he's safe there over at first now.
So an infield hit for Toftland, and that's going to bring the shortstop Tyler Friss to the plate. Friss, another Indiana State guy. 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch. That one taken on the inside. Ball 1. 1 on and 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The Scouts lead 3-1. Walter Rook trying to go the distance, the 1-0 pitch, and that one, a ground ball over towards John Sharp at second. He throws on over to first, and that is all she wrote here tonight, folks. The magic continues. The Scout with their 6th win in a row, their 13th win in the last 15 games. And let me tell you, folks, there is something going on right now in Xenia, Ohio. This team just can't seem to lose. The Scouts advance their lead over the Hamilton Joes to now 2.5 games. And the winning pitcher is going to be taking care of business. Sorry, saying we played Taking Care of Business here because that is the great song to play after a win. Walter Rook picks up the win. He goes 9 innings, allowing 1 earned run on 7 hits, and just a magnificent performance by Rook. The losing pitcher is going to be, I believe, the relief pitcher. The second guy who came in, is he going to take
yes,
the loss?
The second relief pitcher will take the loss.
Yeah, that was Cameron Ross. So the loss goes to Cameron Ross. And, you know, what can we say about the performance of Walter Rook this evening? Just a man with ice in his veins, taking the team on his back. And, you know, he said today in discipleship that a Texas Rangers scout once told his high school coach that he looks as good in the 9th, or he gets better as the game goes on, and we saw that today. The Scouts record goes to 18-8 on the year. The Hamilton Joes dropped to 15-10. So once again, the first place Scouts now 2.5 games ahead in this division. So we're going to take one more look at the out-of-town scoreboard just to see what's going on with the other teams. But looks like Cincinnati has the lead on Richmond in the top of the 7th, but inconsequential at least, the Scouts will have at least a 2.5 game lead over their next closest competitor coming into tomorrow's contest. That will be here again at Grady's Field in Xenia, 4:05 Eastern Standard Time start against the Hamilton Joes. So the final score, your Xenia Scouts 3, the Hamilton Joes 1. You know, it's hard to put words to what we're seeing right now, but it's a lot of fun.
The magic continues.
So I am Andrew Alix for Noah Jones. We thank you for joining us tonight. Wish you a safe night, and God bless.